Everything you believe may have been programmed, not by a secret organization, not by a computer chip in your brain, but by something far more powerful and far more invisible. Right now, there are rules controlling how you think, what you buy, who you admire, who you fear, and even what you believe is possible for your life. The strange part? Almost nobody notices them. And once you do, you'll never see the world the same way again. Imagine a baby born into two completely different worlds. One grows up believing that becoming a millionaire is normal. The other grows up believing rich people are greedy and success is mostly luck. Neither child chose those beliefs. Yet decades later, those invisible ideas shape almost every decision they make. That's the first invisible rule. You don't see reality. You see the version of reality you were taught. Your brain wasn't designed to discover truth. It was designed to help you survive. Thousands of years ago, questioning your tribe could get you kicked out, and getting kicked out usually meant death. So your brain evolved to do something fascinating. It learned to copy. Today, that instinct is still alive, except now your tribe isn't just your family. It's your school, your friends, your favorite creators, the news, social media, your culture. Every day, thousands of opinions quietly become your own without asking for permission. Here's a simple experiment. Think about your favorite clothing brand. Why do you like it? Really think about it. Did you compare every brand on earth before choosing? Or did you simply see it enough times until it felt familiar? Psychologists call this the mere exposure effect. The more you see something, the more your brain assumes it's good. That's why companies spend billions showing you the same logo again and again. They're not trying to convince you, they're trying to become familiar, because familiarity feels like truth. Now, here's where it gets unsettling. This doesn't only happen with products, it happens with ideas. If you hear the same opinion often enough, your brain slowly stops questioning it, not because it's correct, because it's familiar. Think about that. How many beliefs inside your mind are actually yours, and how many were simply repeated enough times? But that's only the beginning. There's another invisible rule that's even stronger. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt underdressed? Nothing about you changed, yet within seconds you felt different. Why? Because your brain is constantly comparing. Psychologists call this social comparison theory. You rarely judge yourself by absolute standards. You judge yourself relative to everyone around you. That's why someone earning $50,000 can feel successful until they meet people earning $500,000. Suddenly, success feels like failure. Nothing changed except the comparison. Social media turned this invisible rule into a weapon. Every scroll is a comparison. Someone has a better vacation. Someone has a better relationship. Someone is younger, fitter, richer, more successful. Your brain quietly starts keeping score, and the game never ends. The people winning this game aren't necessarily happier. They're just being compared against different people. Now imagine spending 10 years chasing a life only to realize you never wanted it in the first place. That happens more often than anyone wants to admit, because comparison doesn't only steal happiness, it steals direction. But there's another rule hiding underneath everything. It's called the default rule. Most people never choose their lives. They simply accept the default settings. Wake up, go to school, get a job, work harder, buy a bigger house, retire, repeat. There's nothing wrong with this path if you consciously choose it. The problem is, most people never ask whether they chose it at all. Imagine boarding a train because everyone else did. Hours later, someone asks where you're going. You realize you never checked the destination. Life works the same way. Momentum feels like purpose, but they're not the same thing. Now, here's something your brain does every single day without you noticing. Whenever you're uncertain, you look around. If everyone else believes something, you assume it's probably true. This is called social proof. If a restaurant has a line outside, it must be good. If millions watch someone, they must be right. If everyone buys something, it must be valuable. Most of the time, this shortcut saves mental energy, but sometimes it becomes a trap. History is filled with moments where millions believed things that were completely wrong. Popularity has never been proof of truth, yet your brain keeps treating it that way. Now, let's talk about one of the strongest invisible rules of all: labels. Imagine two students. One hears, "You're naturally smart." The other hears, "You're just average." Years pass. The first student starts taking harder challenges because they believe they're capable. The second avoids difficult situations because failure would confirm the label. Eventually, their lives begin matching the words they heard years ago, not because the labels were true, because they believed them. Your identity quietly becomes your prediction. If you believe you're bad with money, you'll notice every financial mistake, ignore every success, and slowly create evidence that supports the belief. Your brain loves consistency, even when consistency hurts you. That's why changing your identity is often harder than changing your habits, because habits follow identity, not the other way around. But wait, there's another invisible rule controlling your attention every second. Your brain cannot focus on everything, so it filters reality. Imagine buying a blue car. Suddenly, blue cars appear everywhere. Did the world suddenly fill with blue cars? No, your brain simply decided they mattered. This filtering system is called the reticular activating system. It decides what enters your conscious awareness. Here's why that matters. If you constantly tell yourself people can't be trusted, your brain starts collecting proof. If you believe opportunities are everywhere, your brain starts collecting different proof. Same world, different filter, different life. Reality changes less than attention does. Now let's talk about fear. Most people think fear protects them. Sometimes it does, but modern fear often protects comfort instead of survival. You want to start a business. Your brain says, "What if you fail?" You want to ask someone out. What if they reject you? You want to change careers. What if people judge you? Notice something. Most modern fears aren't about dying. They're about embarrassment. And embarrassment feels dangerous because your ancient brain still believes social rejection threatens survival. Your operating system hasn't fully updated. You're running ancient software in a modern world. Now here's the invisible rule almost nobody escapes. Attention is power. Whatever captures your attention eventually shapes your identity. If your attention belongs to algorithms, your future slowly belongs to algorithms too. Every notification interrupts your thoughts. Every headline competes for your emotions. Every recommendation competes for your beliefs. The battle isn't for your money, it's for your attention. Because whoever controls your attention gradually influences your decisions, and whoever influences your decisions influences your life. So how do you break free? Not by rejecting society, not by distrusting everyone, not by believing you're immune. The first step is simply noticing. Before accepting a belief, ask yourself, who benefits if I believe this? Before chasing a goal, ask, did I choose this or inherit it? Before reacting emotionally, ask, is this my thought or someone else's voice echoing inside my head? These questions sound small, but they quietly dismantle invisible programming. Freedom rarely arrives all at once. It arrives one awareness at a time, because the invisible rules only control people who never see them. The moment you notice them, they begin losing their power. The world will always try to tell you who to become. Advertisements will tell you, social media will tell you, friends will tell you, even your own past will tell you. But one day, you have to decide whether you're living your own story or simply acting out a script that someone else wrote. Because the most dangerous prison isn't built with walls, it's built with beliefs you never realized.